Right, folks, I've got the bins on. Now, that normally means I'm going to read you something, and today that is the case. I've got something to read you. It'll take 2 or 3 minutes. Please bear with me. One of the readers sent this in, said I should cover it, and I quite agree. I'm glad they did. It's regarding a programme that was on, I think, Channel 4 a couple of weeks ago. I didn't see it, but it's a report on the programme that was aired in The Guardian a couple of days after it was aired on the TV. I'm going to read it to you for those that didn't watch the show. I didn't myself and I don't want to. It'll only upset me. Reading this upset me enough. But it's something that everybody must know about. It's something we've discussed in length on many occasions. But just listen to this. This is sickening, is this? Right. The heading at the top was Groomed, a National Scandal Review. It is staggering to hear these children called promiscuous. This is the piece. Here we go. It's Anna Hall's unflinching expose revealing years of abuse for girls as young as 11 that they endured from grooming gangs, the misogyny that allowed so many blind eyes to be turned, and how little has changed today. Okay? That was the preamble to it. I'm sorry if I keep scratching this eye. It's bloody killing me. I'm going to start reading you the piece now. Chantel was misusing cannabis and alcohol and placing herself at risk of sexual exploitation. Is a staggering sentence to find in the council's case summary about a child in the foster care system. Here's another one from an assessment record by Children's Services on the subject of a 14-year-old Erin, in brackets, not her real name. Erin is being exploited into prostitution. She hangs around with a number of men who take her money. She is a very promiscuous girl. I could go on. Groomed, a national scandal, is full of them. Filmmaker Anna Hall has decades worth of material to choose from. Her 2004 film, Edge of the City, was the first television expose of what we now call grooming gangs, born of research she had begun after a chance meeting 5 years before with the senior director at Bernardo's Children's Charity, who told her that they had noticed a pattern of child abuse. Groups of men were targeting vulnerable children, almost always white girls, usually in the care system, befriending them, giving them drink and drugs, becoming their boyfriends, then having sex with them and offering them round to other men in the room. Chantel, now 32, speaks here of being 11 when her 20-something boyfriend, one of the men who used to sit on the wall outside her Manchester children's home, started grooming her. The abuse included being kept in a hotel room for days and passed out went on for years. She contacted the police many times, she says, but they never done anything. Erin was groomed from the age of 12 and first raped at 13. The police told her mother that it was Erin's lifestyle choice. An even worse attack followed. Her mother took her daughter, listen to this, with bite marks to her head, from her head to her toes, and her knickers full of semen back to the police. They did absolutely nothing. A social services report notes that she is a young girl who frequently puts herself at risk. So they're happy for her to be bit from head to toe and have her knickers full of you-know-what. And the police, with all that evidence, take it as no evidence and just let it go. Hall's film lays out the systematic failures of the police and all other authorities supposedly in charge of protecting these girls and thousands like them. Not just them, but now and all the terrible years in between is a tale of blind eyes turned, abundant evidence ignored, reports buried and task forces disbanded. One such task force was Operation Augusta, set up as a result of the 2003 death of 50-year-old Victoria Agogolia after she reported being raped and forcibly injected with heroin by a much older Asian man. It was led by Detective Constable Maggie Oliver, I like her, who says here it took just weeks to find evidence of grooming gangs. We identified about 97 child rapists, said Maggie, to whom such vulnerable girls were just cannon fodder. The group was broken up while Oliver was away on compassionate leave. So the police just broke it all up. So as when Oliver came back, there was nothing to investigate. Disgusting. Jane Senior, who would become the whistleblower and source for the Times newspaper articles that first brought the Rotherham grooming scandal to the public attention, says the Home Office report she helped prepare was buried for clearer reasons. God only knows what that means. I was told on more than one occasion to stop rocking the multicultural boat, she says. The ethnicity of many of the men involved, of course, is what seems to have made the subject so unpalatable to the powers that be. The possibility of being seen as racist or, given the religion of many of the alleged perpetrators, Islamophobic, apparently outweighed the need to stop children being beaten, raped and trafficked. The testimony of more recent survivors suggests that whatever the claims made by the various police forces and authorities about a revolution in approaches since, little has changed. The anger of Senior, Oliver and Hall herself is palpable, with Hall's fueling but never overflowing the film. The survivors are still deeper in survival mode, trying to heal, to overcome the damage and the grief caused by their terrible experiences. How you do that in a world that still privileges image over awful substance, a world in which the deep misogyny that allows female suffering to be dismissed and the victims being blamed for it themselves, I do not know. But it is films like Groomed, in their unflinching detail, in the testimonies that they present, and the unpublished reports that they exert, that may function as a stepping stone somehow, someday, to some redress. Groomed, a national scandal, is on Channel 4 now. So it was on 2 to 3 weeks ago. If you've not seen it, go back and watch it. But the underlying things there are what you read there is, it started with girls anything from 11 to 13. It starts out as grooming with probably your cigarettes and then maybe your drink, then maybe your drugs. They feel they're being looked after by what they class as boyfriends because they're in the system. Often no mother and father, they're often in care. Nobody cares about them. Nobody gives them any time. All of a sudden they play with that much stuff, they don't know whether they're coming or going. The people that were the boyfriends then share them out amongst the friends, and so the cycle continues. People like Maggie Oliver got hold of the thing early on. She wanted to take people to task and sort things out. There was a task force there, and while she's away on holiday, they just disband the task force. The police don't want one of their own digging too deep. Because as the police have said, when the young child with bite marks from head to toe and knickers full of semen were taken into the police station, they blamed the young girl and sent her home with the mother. What chance has a parent got with that kind of policing? And then you've got the government saying, do not rock the boat. All you're doing is calling Asian folk, be them Pakistani or whatever they may be. They're different colour from ourselves, different countries, different religions. We can't call them because we're racist, and we certainly can't be looked at as Islamophobists. We can't be. So really, let's just turn a blind eye and let it carry on. No, the government didn't say that, but they might as well have said that, because it's been now ongoing for 25 years, and still it happens throughout the country. It's a sad indictment of our times, of our governments. They've all failed us, but it's our young kiddies, our young girls that they fail the most. They've just broken families, broken children. Kiddies will never be the same ever again, and nothing's been done. And yeah, they're looking back at things now, but they're never going to really get all the perpetrators rounded up. And if they do, many of them have 5, 10, 15 or 20 years of freedom. They'll get put in prison, they won't serve full sentences. They'll come out, they'll be back in our streets. The same young girls, for all they'll be older, will see them again and they'll think, where's the justice? They'll see them and they'll be taken back to the time when they're 11, 12 and 13. They'll be like frightened kiddies all over again. It's just so sad, isn't it? So sad. Thanks for sending it to me, the follower. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, so I won't, but he knows who he is. Much appreciated. These things need airing, they need covering. And this is a platform for anything like that or anything else that needs covering. And on that note, it's not a nice thing to report, so not a nice message to give out, but it's one that many of us should see, should hear, should pass on. We need to know the dangers that are still out there, they're still lurking. We've all got young kiddies and grandkiddies, and it's a worry. So, look out for them all. There's evil on every corner. Sadly, I was knocking the wrong laptop off then. This is the one I'm on. I was going over there to knock that one off. I'm a fool. Sad old fool.